Okay, so we got a zero turn here. Guy said he did some work on the carburetor and wanted to see if I could get it running. He said he can spray starter fluid in it. It'll run for a second, which is kind of what happens when you have a fuel issue, and it'll die. So he said he put a new carburetor on it, and he just wants me to figure out what's wrong with it. Well, then he said the starting solenoid was bad. Well, yeah, it's bad. What he did was he tried to jump it because apparently maybe the key isn't working, or he thought this was bad. So he takes the starting solenoid. See, this wire is supposed to be here, but it has melted off. So now what you normally would do is take a screwdriver and you would touch these two wires together, this wire and this wire, when it was sitting here. But since he's done it so much and it's melted, I went ahead and did the same thing. Now I'm not even getting spark. So I had to charge the battery, which it appears that I might have to do that again. It must have died or something. Yeah, I'm not getting anything, so we'll have to take a look at that. Now he has given me all the parts. He gave me the old carburetor and he gave me a new starting solenoid. So when I was looking at the starting solenoid, I also noticed this wire was completely burned up. So I had to go and replace some parts. So I did that off camera. I took that off and we'll put that back on. The thing is when I tried to do this, the starter wouldn't even budge, and it was very hot. So my guess is doing all that, he's also burned up the starter. So I bought a new starter and we're going to replace the starter. Trying to make videos and working on equipment for me is somewhat hard because I got to concentrate on doing two things, and I would rather concentrate, and I would hate to say this, but it's just the truth, on the lawnmower so I don't do anything dumb. So I said the battery must be dead. No, I was being safe, and I disconnected the positive. That way while I was working with the starting solenoid and the starter, I didn't hurt myself. Just yesterday I hurt myself. I tried really hard to rip off my finger, and it was so much pain I decided to give up. So now we're just going to take off the starter. Okay, this one stumped me for a minute. I actually started thinking about taking off the flywheel because this bolt right here is behind this seized starter. That middle piece right there is supposed to turn, but it doesn't. I'll show you on the new starter. This is the new starter, and you can see it turns. So you can line up a 1/2 wrench on this one a little bit and get it in there good enough that you can get it to twist off, but it wouldn't turn on that one. It was seized. So I thought I was going to take flywheel off. So I started working on the flywheel, and I decided to give up on that idea. And I looked at the first bolt that I took out that wasn't locked up behind the starter, and it's a torque screw. So I was able to get a torque screw in there and pop that loose without having to take that flywheel off. It was a huge success. I grabbed that bolt out without losing it. There's the bolt right there. And there's the starter. Okay. Now the starter still has a wire on it that I got to take off. That won't be hard. And there's the starter, and it won't turn. So now we'll put the new one on. Oh, it even comes with a new bolt. That's great right there. New nut, I should say. won't tighten this one all the way down until I get the other one in. That one's going to be a challenge. It's a challenge getting it off. Imagine how hard it's going to be to get on. Okay, so I'm not sure where I'm at in my recording. I think I thought I pressed a button one time and I might not have. So I'm taking out the starting solenoid. I've already got the 2 screws out. And there's a wire, a mysterious wire. I have no idea where it goes, which is concerning. So that might, I mean, who knows? It might go right to the key. So now I'm trying to take the wire, it doesn't actually go anywhere, does it? Okay, so the starting solenoid that he gave me is not an exact match for the one that came off of it. That doesn't mean this isn't the correct one. This could actually be the wrong one. I don't know. So I'm going to put it on according to the instructions that came with this one and see how it goes. He told me that I'm allowed to spend up to a certain point, and when we get to that point I have to call him to let him know that we're out of money. So I think I'm just going to try it. I mean, this is the one he bought. He was going to put it on there, so he told me to put it on there. Now, these wire connections I had to take off of the old one. So now we're going to make a new wire for that one that was burned up. So I bought about a foot of wire. It's probably more than I need. I don't even think she measured it. I think she just kind of guessed at the hardware store. Okay, so I don't have the solenoid bolted on just yet. I don't think I need to because I got a ground wire. I got that wire fixed there that ran up to here. And got both of those wires hooked up to battery wires. So now I'm going to hook up the battery. And then we'll try to turn it over. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop for now. I've contacted the customer. He wants to come out and talk to me about that starting solenoid. I think I'm going to suggest to him, instead of messing with all this wiring, because it could be a litany of things, and it's just going to run up money trying to figure out what it is. I know it's not a fuse. It could be the key switch, but with as many wires that were burned and separated, hard telling. When I got into the ignition box here, there was a wire to the PTO that had fallen off. So it would be a nightmare trying to trace all that out, and it would just be costly. So I'm thinking, let's put in a push button start switch. So all he would have to do is turn on the key. That would engage the carburetor shut off solenoid. That makes it where fuel can go into the carburetor. He would push a button, it would start, he'd let go of the button, and he'd be off and running. I think that's what I'm going to suggest to him, and it would save him a lot of time and money, and he can get this machine back quickly. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video where I was working on something. So if I can inspire you to hunt and peck so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.